My name is Matthew Morris, and I am the Aerospace and Advanced Engineering Focused Trade Commissioner based out of the Consul General of Canada in Seattle, Washington. On behalf of the Government of Canada and the wider US-based Canadian Trade Commissioner Service team, we could not be more pleased than we are to be here this morning to wrap up 2020's iteration of Boeing Launchpad Canada. We are proud of the 10 Canadian AI and aerospace tech companies that were selected to be a part of this inaugural cohort. Their selection alone is a testament to the strength of their company and the innovative nature of their products. We received around 80 applications from companies across Canada to be a part of this program, becoming one of the most applied to programs the Canadian Trade Commissioner Service has partnered on in the United States over the past 10 years. 100% of the selected companies are small and medium-sized enterprises, showing the strength of the startup community in Canada. 80% of the companies represented are led by visible minorities, showcasing both the Government of Canada and Boeing's commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion in the aerospace sector. The cohort includes companies from 5 different provinces: British Columbia, Alberta, Ontario, Quebec, and Nova Scotia, representing almost every time zone in Canada. Throughout the 6-week program, Launchpad participants were appointed mentors from Boeing. They held meetings with Boeing leaders and sector specialists, where they learned about the investment, business development, and research partnerships opportunities available to them with Boeing. They also learned about resources the Government of Canada has made available to help Canadian startups grow and succeed. To all the companies that were a part of the program, it has been a joy to work with you, and congratulations for making it through. Now, enough from me. I think it's time to hear the companies speak for themselves as they deliver their final pitches to Boeing.
Thank you, Matthew, for kicking us off. Hi there, everyone. My name is Jacqueline Davidson, and I'm joining you here from HorizonX Global Ventures. I have had the honor of partnering with the Trade Commissioner Service over these past few months, as well as the fantastic 10 startups that you'll hear from today. It's been an honor to partner with each of you, but that said, you didn't come here to hear from me. Next up, we have Consul General Brandon Lee. Thanks for being here with us.
Hi, I'm Consul General Brandon Lee, and on behalf of my team at the Consulate General in Seattle and the wider Canadian Trade Commissioner Service, I'd like to offer my congratulations to our 10 Canadian aerospace technology companies for successfully completing the virtual Boeing Launchpad Canada program. This year's inaugural Launchpad spotlighted the innovative technology coming out of Canada, helping to create more cost-effective, cleaner, and safer air travel for the future of flight. The variety and quality of companies that took part in this initiative is a testament to the valuable opportunity which Boeing and other aerospace primes can find in Canada, both as a place to expand operations and as a hub for innovation. Canada has long served as a global hub for aerospace. Boeing Canada itself, in fact, was founded all the way back in 1929. And if this cohort of startups illustrates anything, it is that Canada is still on the leading edge of aerospace technology development and will continue to play a major role in the global aerospace market for years to come. And in the face of the challenges we have all faced over this past year, we're especially grateful to the Boeing team for committing to make this program a success. And we appreciate the access our companies were given to learn from Boeing about how their technology can best be implemented on the global stage. And between the introductions and mentoring sessions, our participating Canadian startups found this was a unique opportunity for early stage starts to get the chance to talk directly to a Fortune 500 company. And we look forward to continuing to work with Boeing to provide this opportunity for years to come. So congratulations again to our Canadian companies, and I look forward to watching your demonstrations.
Thank you very much, Consul General Lee. Last but certainly not least, we have Charles Sullivan, known to many as Duff, from Boeing International and leader of Boeing Canada. Duff, thanks for being here with us today.
Greetings, everyone. A belated Happy New Year and welcome to 2021. If the first few weeks of January is any indication of what the rest of the year is going to be like, we're in for a very interesting time. Back in September, I think we all had the hope that this pitch day would be held in person. But here we are, speaking to each other virtually, and I thank each one of you for making it work. Boeing and Canada are committed to nurturing entrepreneurship and innovation. This program was an opportunity to strengthen that partnership and to work with some of the most promising leaders, companies, and technologies in Canada. We certainly achieved our objective by connecting with this talent, and I hope each of you found similar value in the weeks of learning and development and through your relationships with your mentors. I'm particularly pleased that the selected cohort is 80% minority founded and 30% female founded. You're accelerating artificial intelligence and the digitization of flight, two areas that represent the future of our industry. And when I think about the future, I think about constant development and continuous growth, rapid technology insertion, data fusion and sensor fusion, network-centric capabilities and network-enabled operations, domain awareness and domain dominance, advanced composite component manufacturing, big data, quantum computing, artificial intelligence, green aviation, and semi-autonomous and autonomous systems. After this program concludes, I will enjoy following your companies and hope that our paths will cross again. Thank you for adapting to this virtual program, and I thank you for showcasing the best that Canada has to offer.
Thanks again, Matthew, Consul General Lee, and Duff for your opening remarks. All right, with that, I think that was an extremely warm welcome, and we're excited to hand it over to our contestants for their pitches. First pitch up that we have is AiMaterial. Looking forward to hearing your pitch.
More than a century ago, while other aircraft designers were working based on tribal knowledge and memory with a fly-first and test-later model, Boeing conducted rigorous testing before they built anything.
Boeing history and success is built on effective use of data. With the same mindset, AiMaterial is fostering a data ecosystem for accelerating materials breakthroughs.
I am Mariam Emami, the CEO and co-founder of AiMaterial.
I am Fari Mahzadeh, the COO and co-founder of AiMaterial. Aerospace has always been a leading industry in developing new and advanced materials and manufacturing techniques. Boeing has over 100 years of materials and manufacturing R&D, starting from using cloth to now using advanced composite materials and additive manufacturing. Materials development extensively relies on R&D. In aerospace specifically, materials must meet very strict requirements and provide high levels of performance. They must operate safely in extreme environments and must be machinable and processable.
But R&D is full of trivial, enigmatic, and sometimes confusing activities. I have experimental engineering background. I remember sometimes as a scientist, I had to randomly look for a starting point. I would keep working on a dead-end experimental path, and it happened to me that I was unaware of availability of certain scientific data. It was time-consuming, frustrating, and expensive, and I was using sparse and unstructured data, which is often noisy, siloed, and cannot be easily located. The big data generated from experimental and computational techniques is scattered everywhere, in scientific literature and databases, and it's buried in books and hard drives and in many, many formats.
In the information era, the traditional approach to materials and manufacturing R&D is like asking Chef Ramsay to dice onions and peel potatoes instead of freeing his hands and mind to create new masterpieces and brilliant recipes. AiMaterial platform is an intelligent technology that enables the human-machine collaborations to create a more efficient R&D environment. It connects R&D projects to a huge data ecosystem. It provides smart design of experiments and eliminates trivial steps and reduces the number of required experiments. It identifies errors and outliers in experimental data and extracts patterns and knowledge from the data. While enhancing accuracy and quality, AiMaterial technology helps every step in the R&D journey to be an efficient and smart one.
A few years ago, I led a project for developing a high-performance fairing system for using in submarines with very strict criteria. For this project, my team identified 8 variables. Theoretically, we had to run more than 40,000 experiments to observe the effects of all variables. Using traditional statistical tools, we were able to complete the work with 250 experiments and within 2 years. If I had access to the AiMaterial platform, this project could have been completed by running around only 80 data-informed experiments in 9 months or less and at the 60% lower budget. AiMaterial platform is comprised of 3 major components: a smart data infrastructure mined and curated from a wide range of public and private resources, an AI engine that analyzes the client data while integrating it within our materials data ecosystem, and an analytical framework that provides actionable R&D solutions.
AiMaterial has proven records and successful cases of partnership with manufacturing companies. Through these projects, we facilitated a co-creative relationship between scientists and AI, reduced development time and cost by 50 to 75%, and developed better and more sustainable products 2 to 5 times faster. We are unique and different from our competitors based on our growing data ecosystem. Our novel analytical framework uses a new approach for analyzing technical data inspired by the evidence-based decision models. We also provide our service to a niche market. Our focus in particular is on advanced manufacturing.
Material science is experiencing an extraordinary transformation, and AiMaterial team is very excited to be at the center of this revolution. We have a capable and growing team of materials and data scientists with decades of experience. We look forward to sharing more about AiMaterial technology and capabilities with you. Thank you very much.
And our next company is Ontario-based Flightplan International.
Hello, my name is Peter Lay, and I'm a co-founder of Flightex. We are an aviation analytics company based in Toronto, serving the global aviation industry and specializing in the realm of flight operations. We are on a mission to optimize the sky. Yes, that's a huge space. For some perspective, 4 years ago, Dr. Greg Hislop, the Chief Technology Officer and Senior Vice President of Boeing Engineering, said, and I quote, "The first century of aerospace was defined by the aerodynamists, and the second century is going to be defined by chemists and mathematicians. It's going to be about materials, and it's going to be about algorithms. The good news is we have developed some high-fidelity algorithms that can be applied to our big data integration capabilities." The aviation industry is going through a crisis of enormous proportions, with airlines estimating losses of $84 billion this year, with a 54% drop in demand and 7 million flight cancellations. IATA has warned that airlines need to reduce their costs by 30% now. That's just to break even in 2021. Airlines have run out of money to upgrade software and use smart algorithms. However, we at Flightex strongly believe that this crisis can be a springboard for us to reach new heights. Our approach will keep our overheads down. Solutions can be deployed in a matter of weeks, not years, and will serve to complement current investments. We have a total of 4 solutions, 2 of which I will talk about now. Firstly, Flight Gains is a solution to address a $13 billion problem, which is well known throughout the industry. Airlines and air traffic control agencies lack tools and business processes to accurately manage huge amounts of operational data for the billing and collection of aeronautical user charges. Our second solution is 4D flight optimization. Airline operations control centers struggle with legacy mainframe software designed back in the 1980s. we have developed unique flight optimization capabilities through the development of proprietary and high-fidelity algorithms. These are delivered as cloud-ready benefits and are meant to complement, not replace, current capabilities. So how will we optimize the sky? Well, we were inspired with the way technology companies like Amazon and eBay have evolved to deliver service solutions over the cloud. We will challenge the status quo to create a highly disruptive approach delivered in a non-intrusive manner as software as a service capability through APIs. We can move fast, we're flexible, and can easily adapt to the constant change occurring in the industry today. Our business model offers immediate return on investment with little change required to current IT systems. Our customers are all over the world. Earlier this year, Tim Clark, the chairman of Emirates, said, "There's a storm coming, warning airlines of a looming seismic shift in technology, and we plan to be on the leading edge to help the industry weather the storm." We're well on our way towards achieving our goals by collaborating with our broad industry network of airlines, air traffic control agencies, data service providers, and software companies. We have a very diverse management team of 4 different nationalities with over 100 years of collective experience in aviation. All 4 of us have extensive major airline experience and have worked with IATA, Canso, and ICAO. In simple terms, we understand how the aviation space works and know the pain points. We need your financial support and would be interested to partner with Boeing Analytics in the 2nd century of aviation using the algorithms that Dr. Greg Hislop referred to. We are open to other business proposals, and we hope you can join us on this exciting journey. Thank you.
Thanks, Peter and the wider Flightex team for your pitch. Next up, we have Keita Systems. Looking forward to hearing your pitch.
Have you ever imagined a maintenance repair organization as a hospital? Men in white as the medical team and the plane as a patient to treat. When you treat the patient, that means when a maintenance repair organization performs one scheduled maintenance on one aircraft. Technicians need to print 10,000 sheets of paper. The sheets of papers are reviewed and managed by the technicians, the customers, and the regulators for the aircraft safety. When you place the sheets on top of each other, you reach the height of the handle of a door at each scheduled maintenance, which is about 1 meter. The customers accumulate 3 million sheets of paper when the plane is 25 years old, not to mention that if engineering or repairs files are added, the sheets on top of each other can reach and exceed 2 to 3 times the height of the Columbia Center. I know what I'm talking about because I am an aircraft inspector. It is obvious that a medical record of this size leads to critical errors for patient. It's a waste of time for the team and a delayed discharge of the patient without being sure that everything has been done. The release to service of an aircraft is like a patient discharge from hospital. Tempeus controls that the aircraft is safely discharged from MRO facility. Tempeus meets actually Boeing #1 priority to monitor 24/7 the airworthiness of the B737 MAX worldwide fleet. Tempeus is a remote virtual inspector. Tempeus is a platform which has been deployed as a technological showcase which has been tested by major industry players such as Dassault or like aviation, or even a large fleet operator, which is Global Jet. And last year, we have opened an office at Quebec City to access the North American market. We succeeded to join the Boeing Launchpad Canada, and we are collaborating with ICAO, and further partnership is in progress. The traction will come from Tempeus incorporation into the Boeing maintenance toolbox, and Tempeus will be deployed as an MRO performance showcase to the service centers during aircraft works, troubleshootings, or AUGs. We plan a freemium MRO model with consistent 5% conversion to paid license after the aircraft release, and additional revenue will come from aircraft airworthiness at enrollment and the toolbox pricing. We have numerous competitors, but we are not afraid because Tempeus is really hard to copy. It was developed by an aircraft inspector and a medical doctor. We have a 10-year advance, and we keep enhancing our solutions. The team is strong with a common and clear vision of the bridges that exist between aerospace and medicine to develop unique aerospace platforms in the world. If you want to know more about us, we will shortly take off, and we hope you will be on board with us. Thank you.
The next presentation is from Montreal-based Paladin AI.
Hi everyone, my name is Mika Klassen. I'm the CTO and co-founder of Paladin AI. We're a machine learning startup that's building software that will transform the way pilots are trained by fusing the best in human and machine intelligence. I'm here to tell you how. Have you ever logged into Facebook or Instagram and seen ads about things you've only thought about but never actually searched for? These apps aren't telepathic, but with enough data, an AI can know you better than you know yourself. What if we could build the same kind of telepathic AI, but harness it to make humans better at their jobs? So, black swan events like a pandemic notwithstanding, aviation is an industry that will reliably double in size over the next 15 years. Before the pandemic, there was a projected need of 300,000 new pilots within a decade. COVID-19 has actually made this problem even worse. The shortage threatens safety and the growth of our industry, but it ultimately comes down to inefficient training systems. The reality is that today's training infrastructure will never produce the necessary numbers of pilots, and that means that inexperienced pilots will eventually crash planes. Pilot training is slow because it depends on a lot of one-on-one manual instruction. We could have all the pilots that we needed if training were cheaper, faster, and largely automated. Adaptive training could even be approved by the regulators if we could supply the evidence. Suppose that you could introduce automation gradually. Use data to better understand the pilot and get objective measures of competency. Training environments, whether it's a VR headset or any of today's flight simulators, produce more data than we know how to analyze. But suppose we put a telepathic AI in the hands of an instructor, gave them the tools to do competency-based training. That would be the wedge that breaks open a market for rapidly upskilling the 300,000 new pilots. So flight simulators produce a lot of data, and we've built a system that can scalably ingest data from an unlimited number of flight simulators. On top of this, we've built a competency inference engine powered by AI that actively identifies pilots' strengths and weaknesses. We've tested this platform on the two most common aircraft types, and it's currently being trialed in multiple training centers around the world. Our product is called InstructIQ, and it represents the first in a new generation of AI-powered training software. Instructors using this technology are more productive, more accurate, and more consistent. Airlines using this technology have safer pilots, reduce their overhead costs, and can maximize their return on investment in training infrastructure. Finally, flight schools using this technology can increase their throughput, reduce their fees, and guarantee better job placement for their graduates. Who are we? Our CEO is Adolfo Claassen, who has spent the last 30 years bringing innovative technologies to market while at CAE, where he was the Chief Technology Officer. And yes, he's also my father. I'm an astrophysicist by training, so I know data. I'm an expert in machine learning, and I co-authored a technical book on data mining. Together, the two of us lead a technically specialized team out of Montreal that has now grown to 9 full-time employees. We're proud to be working with some amazing and innovative companies throughout our industry, and these are just some of the organizations that we're working with. The technology that we're building has the potential to transform how we train. Imagine any airline in any part of the world able to reliably and affordably train the pilots necessary to fly today's modern aircraft. We'd like to take this opportunity to invite Boeing to try our technology and see it in action. We also recently opened our next financing round, so we'd like to invite HorizonX to consider participating. Please feel free to reach out, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Paladin AI, for your pitch. I'm excited to share. Next up, we have Cole from Pegasus. Over to you, Cole.
Hello, my name is Cole, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Pegasus Imagery. At Pegasus, we are developing autonomous data collection at scale. So I served 15 years in the Canadian Army, and through numerous deployments overseas, was exposed to the incredible benefits that military drones brought to making high-risk operations safer and more effective. But it was actually my time in the military here at home that was the real spark that would start Pegasus. You see, every year the military gets called out to support during disaster responses, 100-year floods, devastating wildfires. These events are only increasing in frequency and severity. The problem is that every time we would arrive, we found a response system essentially stuck in the 1940s. What's missing are the tools necessary to give decision makers the actionable information that they need to make smarter, faster decisions and transform these massive responses into intelligence-driven operations. Disasters are an environmental, economic, and a national security challenge, and business as usual is unsustainable. Simply put, we can't afford to keep trying incremental improvements that don't scale and work. At Pegasus, we're developing the technology and people necessary to solve the two barriers to autonomous data collection at the scale of today's biggest challenges. We've developed our Autonomous Airspace Awareness System, or A3S, to solve both the technology and the regulatory barrier to beyond visual line of sight operations in commercial airspace. At a basic level, A3S fuses airborne radar and sensor data to detect, track, and avoid airborne hazards like birds, drones, and most importantly, manned aircraft. Edge-enabled AI means A3S is able to autonomously navigate and avoid intruder aircraft in all weather conditions. We're also solving the commercial barrier to scaling, integrating A3S with our own long-range UAS to bridge the capability gap between military and consumer-grade drone capabilities. Flying beyond visual line of sight for 30 to 60 minutes isn't a viable alternative to manned aircraft, so we developed EOS, a fixed-wing UAS designed and manufactured by Pegasus in Canada. EOS is able to take off and land vertically with a 6 to 10 hour endurance, depending on payload. And because we really just have 2 seasons here in Alberta, we've got wildfire and winter, we've recently patented Midas. It's our moisture and icing detection alert system to provide real-time icing detection and weather data. Midas is modular, wireless, and able to be attached to any surface on manned or unmanned aircraft. Behind all this capability, we're building out a services model to create on-demand data collection that meets industry demands. Our competitive landscape is wide, and our direct competition isn't actually drones. Helicopters are expensive to operate and collect limited data. Satellites have the benefit of a high vantage point, the trade-off being lower resolution data, and they're limited by weather obscuring the collection area. With aircraft autonomy through A3S, this means that we can scale and grow rapidly to expand services to anywhere on the globe. So since 2019, we've completed paid trials with early adopters, including law enforcement and conservation officers, industry multinationals. We're currently in a program with Canadian Special Operations Command to better support the warfighter, and Project Salient is where we're putting all our technology into practice. Through Project Salient, Pegasus is leading a 2-year development cycle, partnering with Transport Canada and Nav Canada to test and trial our technology in uncontrolled airspace. From our current home at a regional airport, we'll be working with government and industry, overlaying technical testing with real-world use cases, including wildfire monitoring, flood mapping, and rural crime reduction. In 2022, we'll expand the project into Alberta's wildfire management zone, a forested area bigger than Sweden, to test our technology in an operational environment. Project Salient will give the regulator real-world test data and feedback to support regulatory advancement and commercialization of this transformational technology. Now, humans are more important than hardware, and our team combines highly experienced military veterans who know how to build and lead teams focused on execution, commercial aviation pilots, and highly talented engineers. We adapt fast and have grown exponentially through programs in both the United States and Canada, and are a NASA Technology Global semi-finalist last year. We're building the new aerospace sector to deliver intelligence-driven solutions to our planet's greatest environmental and economic challenges. If you're an investor, potential partner, or you're a prime with offset obligations who want to build this future with us, we'd love to meet and engage with you. Thank you.
Next up is Nova Scotia-based Smart Design Systems.
When I heard about the Haiti earthquake, I was surprised. The number of victims were horrific. 220,000 people died in that earthquake. 330,000 were injured, and 1.3 million were displaced. It was not so much a natural disaster as it was an engineering disaster. This was the presidential palace that collapsed in the earthquake. The magnitude of the earthquake was 7.9, but this building was designed to withstand an 8.5 earthquake, which is 500 times more powerful. Let me rewind the clock to the time that this building was being designed. The government requested a proposal for designing the palace. Consulting engineering companies bidding on the project had their design team sit down to find the most optimized design. The company with the most optimized design won the project and engineered this disaster. Unfortunately, these companies lack the proper tool to tell them how safe their design actually was. In companies like Boeing, engineers use commercial and in-house software packages to analyze different designs in order to find safe and hopefully optimized solutions. Normally, engineers would go through several different possible design scenarios to find the most optimal solution using such software products. But do the scenarios investigated actually include the truly optimal design? What if these engineers could very rapidly investigate thousands of different design scenarios, all of which properly include risk assessments to estimate the total expected cost of each design? Their ability to close in on truly optimal design would be significantly improved. Currently, the biggest software players in the market are Ansys and Dassault Systèmes. Both of them are multi-billion-dollar companies. We are Smart Design Systems. We will produce a software package that helps engineers achieve both safer and more optimized design in shorter time span. Our software offers similar analysis capability as our competitors, but faster due to support for advanced computing hardware devices and cloud services. We offer risk assessment analysis tools to show engineers how safe their optimized designs are. These tools are based on more than 30 years of experience my co-founder, Dr. Fenton, has. The speedup allows us to generate huge databases that can be used in machine learning algorithms. In our concrete lab here at Dalhousie Engineering Campus, we tested different walls. Then we used the lab result in our software to generate a huge database of different walls. We were able to fully investigate the risk associated with the design of the walls. We were even able to provide reliability-based design recommendations. The value we bring to our customers, mainly engineering companies, is to increase their chances of winning design bids. We make sure design teams using our software can reach a more optimized design. This will have a beneficial impact on our buyer, who would usually be the head of the design team. We have thought about our users as well. We have designed a friendly user interface so that engineers would be easily able to use our software. Equally importantly, they can review the risk associated with their design simply by pushing a button. I'm thrilled to announce that we were able to pique the interest of major companies such as Boeing. We were among the 10 companies selected by Boeing to participate in their Canadian Launchpad. At the moment, we are at discussion with the lead engineers at Boeing and HorizonX for possible investment and partnership opportunities. My name is Reza Rahimi. I'm a postdoctoral fellow at Dalhousie University. I have 10 years of background in engineering design. My co-founder, Dr. Fenton, is a professor at Dalhousie and a well-known researcher in the field of risk assessment and reliability-based design. Dr. Fenton chairs 2 national design code development committees. His research papers have more than 9,000 citations. I believe we have identified the problem and we have a solution to make engineering designs smarter and our structures safer. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Smart Design Systems, for your pitch. Next up, we have Solid State AI. Looking forward to your pitch. Take it away.
Hi, my name is Abby. I'm the founder and CEO of Solid State AI. Our business is to enable manufacturers to increase the number of products being produced. We do this through the deployment of AIMS, our AI software. Let me first begin with the origin of Solid State. You see, I used to work on the manufacturing floors of the semiconductor and the shipbuilding industries. Having used the data analytic tools in these industries, it became quite clear to me that the software is really not integrating advanced data analytics algorithms such as machine learning. Well, the result of not integrating is me, the engineer, on the shop floor does not have the best tool in order for me to improve my manufacturing efficiencies. And what this means for the manufacturer is they're losing money. So I figured, hey, this is a great opportunity to start a company that solves this problem. So before I delve into the problem being solved, first let me give you some context. You see, manufacturers are profitable when they're able to sell quality products that they produce. Unfortunately, because of the increased complexities in the products being produced, manufacturers are delayed in being profitable. The primary reason for the delay is the current data analytical techniques are really not amenable to the type of data sets being generated from the factory floors. Now, this is where Solid State AI comes in. We can eliminate these delays through our software AIMS. Now, just to give you an indication of how important this problem is, 90% of manufacturers are investing in some form of digitizations of their factories. They're spending 1.2% of their revenues to do so, and they're doing this because 98% want increased efficiencies from their lines. Now, with AIMS, manufacturers are able to solve 3 main problems: downtime, calibration, and delays in root cause analysis. Manufacturers, unless they solve these 3 problems, are losing money. The curve that I'm showing here is called the yield curve. The y-axis is defined as yield, which is essentially the total number of products sold divided by the total number of products produced. So ideally, manufacturers, they want to be at 100% yield. But realistically, they can't achieve that 100% yield, but they're really profitable when they are at 80% and greater yields. And for them to get there, they need to solve these 3 problems. Now, getting to these large yields is possible using traditional methods, except they require a lot of data and a lot of clean data, and which means is that the engineers will follow the black curve. Now, the key advantage that we have is we've developed a system that converges to large yields way faster. Using our technology, manufacturers are able to build and deploy machine learning models that then solve downtime, calibration, and reduce time for root cause analysis. Our key technological differentiator and what enables us to shift the black curve to the blue curve is that we can predict from low volume data sets. And what this means for the manufacturer is they can start predicting early, which means they can head to those massive revenues a lot early. Now, where we're applying this technology to is in the automotive industry, aerospace industry, and semiconductor industries. Now, having vetted out our technology and our software, we do have clients in the aerospace industry and in the semiconductor industry, and we have customers currently in our sales pipeline. Now, these are the key members of of Solid State AI, our technology team is composed of PhDs, manufacturing engineers, software engineers, and machine learning scientists. Combined, we have over 2 decades of experience. We are currently raising $3 million. With this money, we want to increase the number of customers, accelerate our marketing, sales, and our software development. This money will also unlock a $2 million grant that will then be used to support the hiring of engineers. Thank you very much for your time and have a great day.
From British Columbia, next up is a presentation from Vetro.
Vetro accelerates learning. We transform training into immersive, interactive learning experiences through our smart AI virtual human technology. Vetro developed virtual human technology that delivers content-rich communications via our virtual humans to both virtual reality and WebXR applications. The virtual humans engage with learners in skill-based and conversation-rich learning practice simulations. This transforms learning experiences. Let me share with you an example. During COVID-19, healthcare workers in remote areas of Australia were safely practicing their PPE application and removal with virtual human characters. By practicing being spotters for their teammates, we were collecting data and analytics that demonstrate the competency skill of each of the workers. This invaluable information was being fed back to our partners, Monash University and the Department of Health and Human Services Victoria, enabling them to make better decisions on critical training pathways. Let me stress, virtual humans are not chatbots. They have evolved. Virtual humans have speaking and listening skills. They are trained via machine learning and become subject matter experts ready to engage in conversations on the trained material. Virtual humans can be a coach, a mentor. They can answer questions, and this paves the way for the learning that is personalized to each learner while being convenient, accessible, and objective. Let's unpack how innovative business leaders are using our technology.
Vetro's innovative AI virtual human technology accelerates learning by providing a safe, convenient means for learners to practice skills. Content-trained virtual humans can deliver coaching, instruction, or answer questions for the learner as they practice. This healthcare worker is practicing and being assessed for her PPE competency skills by being a spotter for a fellow worker.
Okay, what is next on the list?
Hand hygiene again.
Okay, please pay attention while I do this.
Learners are assessed against a rubric which encompasses tasks and communication skills. Today, training is often delivered via e-learning programs.
Can you give me a recap of your year?
It was rough at the beginning because I was new to my rank.
Training simulations deliver a repeatable, safe, convenient, and cost-effective way to practice skills at home or in the office. Vetro is accelerating learning.
Virtual humans change the learning landscape. These AI characters can do the heavy lifting of delivering learning anytime, anywhere, enabling your instructors and coaches to provide personalized learning support. They have detailed analytics to help each learner in achieving competency in critical learning objectives. This is a game changer. It increases the engagement of the learners while transforming the results learning and development teams can deliver. Comprehensive metrics and analytics are collected from each learning simulation. Critical skills training pathways are reduced, and it's an optimum way to deliver soft skill training with lifelike practice sessions. As a company, we're diverse and inclusive. So it's only natural that our characters reflect the diversity in appearance and accent, both speaking and listening. We take into account that many of our learners struggle with English while learning. This can affect the learning outcome. We have language and linguistics experts on our team, and we are able to develop our practice simulations for English and English language learners alike. This welcome addition gives our learners the freedom to learn the skills and the language they are likely to hear in their workplace situations. Our proprietary virtual human technology has proven its value to our clients. Faster learning outcomes with increased retention of skills and information, along with core competencies and measurable learning outcomes. Vetro is accelerating learning. How can we help your team increase productivity in reduced time, adding value to your business in 2021? Thank you.
Thank you, Vetro, for your pitch. Next up, we have Patrick St. Louis from Warp. Looking forward to your pitch. Take it away, Patrick.
Hi, Warp is my third company and proudest achievement to date. I don't like the title of serial entrepreneur, but given that I have sold 2 previous companies with profit, I have to accept this reality. Matter of fact, the idea of Warp came up in the final month of my earnout period at MSB. As I was phasing out, customers were more transparent about their problem. A project manager came to me with a little bit of frustration as he was working on a high-tech inspection project using Microsoft HoloLens. He said, "It's a shame, Pat. We have this great amount of data, but don't have the means to make it available for the rest of the organization." It hit me like a ton of brick. I needed to shake our industry by changing how quality assurance is perceived and performed by allowing everyone to capture, structure, and act on quality assurance data like never before in the history of mankind. I am dead serious. A clean sheet modern software that will pave the way for a paradigm shift in our industry. My friend Philippe Labrec left a great career at Bombardier to start this journey with me. At Bombardier, Phil was the QA manager ensuring compliance of all facilities around the world. So 2018 was invested in scouting the planet to benchmark existing solutions and good practices. We wanted to find the real value prop that reside at the intersection between regulation, manufacturing requirement, and modern software capability. We made an exciting discovery. Quality assurance represents an average 10% of OEMs and Tier 1 top line, which amount to $75 billion annually for the top 100 aerospace companies worldwide. This quest made us realize that our software will eliminate inefficiencies in the range of $15 billion annually for those 100 players. Phil and I spent most of 2019 in assembling a great team of experts and partners, raising serious money and conducting hundreds of workshops and interviews with major OEM, Tier 1, and numerous machine shops. We wanted to come up with a software that would be efficient for all actors of the supply chain. We did our homework. So here it is, Wilbur. We laid the foundation with a cyber-resilient data management backbone that has the primary function to structure all the information collected by the users in order to streamline the certification process. Furthermore, it allows to connect to any type of digital device, such as smartphone, torque wrench, GoPro, drone, CNC machine, name it. If it exists, we can tap into it. It can also interact with legacy software, such as ERP and MES, by pulling data or even pushing instruction into them. On top of that, we've built a progressive web application that encompasses each and every processes required by regulatory bodies such as FAA, Transport Canada, and EASA. Why a progressive web app? Because we want the end user on the shop floor to be empowered with the best tool available at his fingertip. Then there's the grid, planned for Q4 2021. What will it do? The grid will connect multiple instances of Wilbur so they share specific information without any human intervention. For example, let's say we have Boeing using Wilbur and Spirit also using Wilbur, both with their respective instance. When Spirit employee perform a QA task on a Boeing-related product, then the grid, based on agreed sets of rules, will share the information from Wilbur Spirit to Wilbur Boeing, cutting shorts to emails, portal, report, and so on. Even better, if Spirit suppliers are also using Wilbur, then the information can flow all the way through to Boeing, giving you an entire view of your entire supply chain. I'll show you how it worked for an existing customer with whom we have deployed Wilbur in the Part Services division of its aftermarket business unit. In its main warehouse, legacy processes required paperwork, database, emails, and SAP to solve anomalies, leading to an average turnaround time of 37 days. Using Wilbur, we streamlined the processes and brought it down to 5 days. Over $1 million is saved on a quarterly basis, as the quantity of parts sitting in quarantine has been lowered by 80%. We currently have 3 customers, which amount to 300 users over 9 facilities, and covering a wide spectrum of activities. Our business model is based on licensing fee with minimal integration costs, as we kick off with small scope and expand according to customer requirement. We'll be happy to discuss a collaboration, whether it's a proof of concept, development of the grid, or a direct investment into Warp. Let's talk, let's warp. Thank you.
And finally, Ontario-based Holby.
Hello and welcome to Pitch Day. Thank you for joining us. My name is Alex Wright, and I'm here to tell you about how Holby uses AI auditing to detect supplier fraud in real time. Now, before COVID-19, supplier fraud was already a major issue. In 2019, $4 trillion of global GDP was lost to fraud. Companies lost an average of 5% of revenue. That means in 2019, based on that industry average, Boeing would have lost $3.83 billion of revenue. Now, with traditional auditing done by human auditors, random sampling is used to audit only a small percentage of transactions. And that means that many cases of fraud go undetected. And in addition, auditing usually only occurs once per year, so many cases of fraud take months or years before they are detected. We say it's like a leak in your basement. Would you like to detect that leak when it first starts, or many months or years after your basement is, well, completely flooded? So after COVID-19, there was a significant increase in supplier fraud. PricewaterhouseCoopers talks about how aerospace suppliers who have been hit by loss of revenue and a cash crunch will misrepresent the impact of the pandemic to their OEMs, to their buyers. And right now, this is leading to cases of fraud occurring right now. KPMG talks about how there are more opportunities with COVID-19 for supplier fraud. This is caused by supply chain shortages, shifting supply chains, also caused by trade wars, as well as a lack of management oversight. Now, Holby has been specifically trained to detect COVID-19 era fraud. We look for those patterns, trends, and anomalies caused by new COVID-19 era fraud, and we're able to detect them in real time. COVID-19 has also overwhelmed supply chain and financial teams. And so Holby empowers those supply chain and financial professionals with the ability to audit millions of transactions in seconds. This leads to faster risk mitigation and faster decision making. And ultimately, we're using AI technology to fill a significant capability gap. Now, AI Auditor is also capable of detecting supplier fraud, as I mentioned, in real time. So we're able to detect that supplier fraud as it happens, not months or years later. It's just like that leak in your basement. Would you like to detect that supplier fraud when it first occurs, before it causes major financial loss, reputation loss, and supply chain disruptions? Now, how does AI Auditor work? We use hundreds of professionally trained machine learning algorithms to detect fraud. We audit 100% of financial data, so no stone goes unturned, no fraud goes undetected. And AI Auditor is used by 50 of the top 100 auditors, as well as the Bank of Canada and the Bank of England. As a result of those engagements, we have the highest level of security and privacy and are capable of on-premise solutions. Now, AI Auditor is the first natively built AI auditor in the world, and it was built by the same team that built IBM Watson. Robin Grosset, who is the chief architect of IBM Watson from concept all the way to final product delivery, as well as Greg Adams, who was the chief architect of IBM Watson visualizations. So we have that great team behind us. And we are also offering an AI auditing network that will allow the detection of fraud across entire industries. And we're very much hoping that Boeing will join us in creating an AI auditor network for the aerospace industry. I'd like to thank you very much for joining us, and I look forward to speaking with all of you about AI auditing in the near future. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the rest of Pitch Day.
All right, thank you, Holby, for your pitch. And with that was our last pitch. I just want to say a special thanks for our 10 participants for being along with us for the ride throughout this 6-week program. It's been a lot of fun to work with you all, and as Matthew said, it's been a true joy to be able to learn more about yourselves as entrepreneurs, and your solutions. Thank you as well to those of us who have tuned in today to hear a little bit more about the companies that we've been working with. I think that they were really excited to share, and with that, if you want to hear or learn a little bit more about those companies, don't hesitate to reach out, as the contact information is going to be listed after the fact. If you want to learn a little bit more about the Launchpad Canada program, you can reach out to myself or Matthew Morris, and we'd be happy to talk a little bit more about the program itself. I want to say a special thanks to the Canadian Trade Commissioner Service team for making this event so great, making the program so great. Without the partnership, it wouldn't be what it is today. So special thanks to all of our stakeholders, but especially them for making this happen. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to hopefully talking to you soon. Have a great day.